Anika Denise, qué libro tan hermoso. You can see it, A Girl Named Rosita. Congratulations, Anika.
Gracias. Thank you.
Óyeme, ¿cómo empezó la idea de hacer un libro sobre Rita Moreno? How this idea start?
So I know Rita Moreno from when I was a child, right? Watching her on West Side Story. And I always admired her because for me, as a little Puerto Rican girl, there wasn't a celebrity who was like a household name, and Rita was a household name for me. I knew her from the Electric Company. I knew her from West Side Story. And so she was always this icon to me. And as a children's book author, I like to focus on powerhouse Latinas. So she was someone who I thought would make a wonderful picture book biography. And she's important to me, and that's why I wanted to write the book.
How long take? ¿Cuánto duró hacer, recopilar la historia, you know, to all the research, all the things, to decide what you're going to put in the story? How long was the process? ¿Qué tan largo fue el proceso?
It took me about 3 años, like 3 years of like really digging into, I had from idea, maybe not to actually write it, but when I had the idea, then I thought, okay, and I actually was working on another book at the same time. So I was doing research and then moving over to the other project, and then doing research and moving over to the other project. And then I decided that, okay, now it's time to focus. And at that point, things sped up. But the bookmaking process is pretty long. You write, you revise, and then you submit to your editor. And then an illustrator comes in. In this case, it was Leo Espinosa, who is brilliant. The illustrations in it are...
En colombiano, yes.
See? So, you know, it's the whole process, probably by the time I hand it off to Leo, and then he takes months with the illustrations. I would say normally, like from when I started writing, it's like a 2-year process to publish book. Yeah.
Okay. Y cuando fuiste a la editorial y dijiste, I want to write about Rita Moreno, what they say? What was the first reaction?
That's really a good question, because when I told my agent, she was like, you know, you wrote about Pura Beltre, and everybody knows in the school and library market about her, you know, but she like didn't grow up. I think Puerto Rican families grow up like loving our icons and our celebrities, right? So she was like, yeah, I know who she is. She was in West Side Story, but I don't know if everyone knows who she is. And I was like, nope. Latinos know who she is, you know, and everybody knows
Rita Moreno.
What you talking Moreno? I know. So I mean, I love her, but you know, everybody, you know, she's a little bit like, she just wasn't in that generation that knew her, and also, you know, we all know like she's La Reina, and it's Rita Moreno. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to send you some information about her, and then of course. She was like, oh, yes, okay. And she absolutely then was excited about the idea. And then shortly after I shared the idea with her, Rita wound up on the red carpet with the Oscar dress that she wore to her when she won the Oscar. And the internet exploded and everybody was talking about Rita. You know, Rita never went anywhere. She's always been here. But it was wonderful for her to bring that moment back. And suddenly she was all over the news. And when that happened, my agent was like, okay, I get it now. So that was great.
Tremendo empujón de Rita Moreno, ¿no? I'm so happy that an author take the time to portray Latinas, you know, trailblazers. Porque I think we need to remember others who opened the door for us.
Absolutely. Think? Yes. And I think it's really important for young readers who might not have grown up with Rita, and to understand that, you know, now when they look at media and pop culture, there's a lot more representation. We still have a long way to go, both in media and culture and in books in the publishing industry. But I feel like now these young readers are almost taking for granted that it's always been this way, to show them whose shoulders we're standing on, essentially, and teach them about history, So yeah, that's part of the reason. And I once in a while I have that one kid in class who will raise their hand and be like, I know who she is. My mom loves her. And, and that's really fun. But yeah, I think it's good to look back. And it's also their stories are so inspiring. And also it's kind of crowded out by other, like when the kids read picture book biographies, it's often about white males, and so we need to write and amplify the stories of women of color and Latinas much, much more. So that's why I write the books that I write.
Love it. Anika, ya este libro tú lo entregaste, ya sale en unos días. ¿Cuál es el próximo sueño de escribir sobre quién o alguna otra latina, trailblazer? Cuéntame.
Can you tell me?
Okay,
can you say it in English so I make sure I'm answering the right question?
Okay.
Full disclosure, my Spanish is, so.
This book is already done. Yeah. It's going to be out of the oven in no time. So which other dream you want to write about it?
Yeah, thank you. I thought that was a question, but I wanted to make sure I was answering it correctly. So I have another book in the works right now, but it hasn't been announced yet, so I can't. It's a big secret, but it is about another powerhouse Latina in a very different career than publishing or entertainment, but a very important one. So I'll just say that this book is a dream project. So I'm really excited to get started on that. I'm working on that right now. And in the future, I don't know after that. I have one other, I'd really like to focus on a book that highlights the history of Puerto Rico, because I think it's after Hurricane Maria, and I kept reading about people in this country who do not understand the relationship that we have to the island. And that really amazed me. And I think that Latino history is very much left out of the curriculum of what our children learn. The fact that some kids don't know that Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth of the United States is a problem. So I'd like to highlight that in a book. That's one of my dream projects. So I'm working on a way to do that.
So you went to the university to study film. You're a filmmaker.
Yep, I started out in film, and then I moved over to more like script writing, copywriting books. Yeah.
Any chance to come back to tell those stories instead of writing?
I would love to have the opportunity to step back into film and to write screenplays in any way possible, for television, for film. I would definitely bring that lens of focusing on Latinos and, in any way that I could. I'm a big admirer of like America Ferrara. She's doing amazing things right now. And following, if the opportunity ever presented itself, yes, I absolutely would. I would. And especially if it was for a children's audience.